Well, I'm back on the Chrysler. Got a couple airbags. Well, I'm still working on the 29. I dropped the pan yesterday and adjusted the screw that increases line pressure. It was setting about 40 pounds, and I turned it in 3 turns, so now it's setting starting about 65 pounds. It's going to be a rough shifter, you know, but anyway, I think it had a bad seal in it. I saw some rubber in the pan, so I think I've got the line pressure up to where it's producing enough pressure to overcome that bad seal. I took it and drove it around, and it seems to take off good. It shifts alright, especially if you do it manually. But what I've got here is a regular B&M shifter. I ordered a cable, and I'm going to take this what you call it, Winner's Z-gate or something. It's up on a big tall pedestal, and it's got a big heavy cable. It'd be great for what it is, but it's made for reverse valve body. So I'm going to take it out, and I'll put this shifter in. It's quite a bit better. And I found me an end here that threads on, so I'll be able to hook all this up. I put a big pin in the handle here that tightened that up real good. I think it's good enough, and I've got it all jacked up here on stands so I can get under it. I'm going to take this big old heavy shift cable off, and I may have to redo that arm back there to get it to the right length, but I'll get this thing to where it's all the clicks on a ratchet are exactly where they're supposed to be. I don't have a neutral lockout on it, but I mean starter lockout. I'll just deal with that for right now. That's one of my #1 no-nos. But I got some little switches around here. Maybe I'll try to hook up something before I get too carried away with it. Anyway, let's get this cable out of here and shifter and see what happens. Well, I got my brackets and stuff made down there for the new shifter cable. I've got them just clamped together with vice grips. I'm going to spot weld that, pull it out. I got the shifter mounted in here to the floorboard. It's pretty strong. I got my Winner sidewinder out. It's too bad, you know, that's really super heavy cable, but it's just too much work, and it's got the wrong valve or wrong pattern for it. So anyway, the two shifters were different. The Winners had a 4-inch stroke, and the Hurst or B&M, whatever it is in there, had a 3-inch stroke. So I had to re-drill my shifting arm there. So I did a little calculation and show you what I come up with. So here's what I had. I had a 3-inch travel on the arm, 3.5, and I solved for X here, so I come up with 2.4 radius, and that's where I drilled the arm. I just marked it here in my book. I ran this through all the gears. Park is good, the starter works, neutral's good, starter works. I was thinking about a reverse lockout, but I forgot this one. The 727 has a sending unit on the case. So two things: one, I don't have to worry about some kind of funky switches that might give up, and the other thing is that it tells me when I'm in the exact position. So I'll get this tacked up, and then I'll pull it out and we'll weld it. Well, here's Mr. Bracket all welded, ground down, and painted. I just bolted in the car. Well, here's some good news. I got my special plates here, permanent plates, and they came in, my title and registration, got everything, so car's all legal. A little over a year from the start. Well, I got me a big bracket here, and I've got it bolted into the spring perch. That's 1/2-inch steel, and I plugged that out so it'll fit this airbag. And the airbag sits in here like this roughly, and I'm about 2 inches or so off of the frame rail. I welded 2 pieces together, and you can see here where I've got the marks to cut them out. And then I want to take a piece of this. I had some 3-inch, 1/4-inch plate, and I'm going to make my bracket here like this. It'll get drilled and bolted, and then I'll make a little I put this in there. It's about 1 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. I'll put a piece on each end here up against the frame. One will be longer than the other, and then I'll get that welded to the frame, and then I'll have the holes. I got enough room to get in here and put a nut on it. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty close to the wheel here. I think my tires are going to clear. When this gets some air in it, it'll be smaller in diameter. So we'll see. I think this will probably work. I mean, if it don't, I'll have to buy some smaller airbags and re-drill some holes, but I think this will be good enough. Now I just need to put my mounting bolts in this and measure here to the frame and cut a couple more pieces and weld them in. Well, here's the top bracket. I made that 1.25 inches on the small side so I can get a bolt in it, because it's going to get welded up onto the frame. But for right now, that's just tacked together and it's straight. So I'm going to go ahead and weld it up here on the inside corners. It doesn't have to have a lot of side to side flexing in it. It just has to be straight up and down. So I don't think I'll be getting too carried away. I'll just see if I can run a good bead down in there and we'll clean it up and paint it. Well, there's the bag in. When I had the wheel and everything off, I was able to tighten that spring up almost 1/2 inch, but so the spring's a little higher than it was. I think I was leaving it down. I don't know why. Thought it'd be weaker or something, but I got it welded pretty good. Couldn't really get to that other side the way it is, but I did get it welded good on one side, and the bag is in there, and I've got some this is the same amount of bounce. You know, my weight is probably moving 1 inch. Do the same on this side. Tried my air. It works. I had some crappy air tools here, but I finally got one that half of it works. This one here, the back side works. What I got here is 10 inches. Let's see if I can set this up here. See if I can get that thing to lock. Alright, I got it taped, it'll hold. That's right at just a little under 4 inches. And let's see if I can set the camera up. Yeah. So if you're gonna be able to see or not, let's hit this with some air. See what happens. Max. So 3 1/4. That airbag raised it. So you can let it out. So it's raising it about 1 1/4 inches. I think we can see the bags work over here. Air thing is no good. drag anyway. There it is. Let me get the air out of this and we'll try it again. Alright. This tape's right at 4 inches. Well, it's good. Looks like it's bending that arm. There we go. Right back to 4 inches. That's maximum right there. So that's 3 1/4. So that's 1 1/4 inches that the air's moving it. And the shock is stopping it from going anymore. Let's see if I can let this air out. Yeah, it's coming down. Stops right at 4. So I'm lifting it 1 1/4 inches with the air, and what's stopping it is that shock itself. It's hitting the limit of its travel. I could probably raise it even more. As long as I don't try to keep putting more air in it. That raises 1 1/4 inches back here on the back. Let's see what it did on the fender. Yeah, it raises it about 1 1/4 inches, 1.5 inches here in the center of the tire. It's all the way back down now, and I'm on the spring. It's pretty stiff. But it will pick it up. See if I can get you a tripod, I'll show you. Alright, well, set you on my new tire. And put this with some air. That's it. So it went up, whatever it did, 1 inch or so. I can put my whole hand in here now, so that raises it back up quite a bit. And, lower it. It's coming down slow. Bottom. Hit the shock again. So we got quite a bit of raising it, and to get completely aired up. It's got a little different feel to it. So I think that that's going to work out okay. I'm going to have to put a brace, and I just got that 1/2 inch flat bar there. And I can put a, a gusset like this, 1 foot long, just put it on the bar like that. That'll keep that from bending. But I don't know if this is going to leak or what, but it doesn't seem like it's doing it very fast. So it lowered right back down to where it was before. So anyway, this is a success, I will say. I mean, check these 2 side to sides. Well, with that one side jacked up, got 11 3/4 on the left, 11 on the right. But the oops, here's my brackets all made. Bolted in. We got to drill 1 hole right there where that little X is. This is the top one that gets welded into the frame. So I gotta cut a corner off around the corner here where it goes into the frame, cut the front corner off, and paint it. And the same thing on that one there. I gotta drill me a big hole there for the second bolt. This is the 1 bolt hole that I had in the spring perch, and there was no hole in there for the other one. So I cut it out with a plasma cutter. I got 1/2 inch bolts, but I think I'm gonna go a little bigger bolt in there. I'm making holes big enough, and this one was quite a job, mostly because it was you can see that cross suspension bar there. The bags was hitting it and hitting the tire, but I got that notched out. So now I just have to grind up the frame so I can weld to it. I'll adjust this one here, throw some paint on it. It won't be dry by the time I get up in there. I won't paint it on the edges where I'm going to weld it. And that can be drying while I'm drilling this other bolt and getting it ready to put back in. Well, there's Mr. Airbag in and bolted up. I haven't welded it to the frame yet. That's what I'm doing, is building some air. And I'll put some air in it, and that'll push it up against that frame. Looks like it got about 1/8 of an inch there. And I'll weld it. So we should good to go. I'm kind of tired. I've been at this thing all day, and this is as far as I got. I'll probably just weld this tomorrow. I just want to put air in it and see how far it goes up for right now.